Nashville's Rock Station, 102.9 The Buzz. I'm Dagwood. In studio, very special guest at Zany's Comedy Club this week, Mr. Steve Rannazzisi.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Very special guest. That's nice.
That's
like nice
that?
to hear. Very special guest.
I told you when you walked in, we take care of everybody.
Well,
here.
thank you. It's lovely to be back. I love the city.
You've been to Nashville quite a few times.
4 or 5 times now, I think. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Every time it's been freezing. I don't think I've ever once been here where it's been you don't need a jacket or to wear like another living thing. You have to kill it and live inside of it just to come. I mean, I don't know. Is it normally? It's not normally this cold, right?
No, I think we're about on it.
This is it?
Yeah, this is
All
it.
right.
So we've had, as a matter of fact, I was going to tell you, you're the second best looking guest we've had in the studio.
Whoa.
This week. We had
some supermodel, right?
Swimsuit, Sports Illustrated.
That's
swimsuit.
all I'm hearing all week. I was in I went to after my show last night. I went to what's the name of that Merchant to get some food, and then I took an Uber to my hotel. And the cab driver, the Uber guy, picks me up. He's like, "Hey man, I know you." And I was like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "You think you're the most famous person to sit in that seat tonight?" And I was like, "Based on the way you said that, no." And he's like, Victoria's Secret supermodel, I don't know who he said. He's like, she was in that seat 11 minutes ago. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry that I'm way uglier than she is. I'm funnier than she is. I'll tell you that right now.
Absolutely.
100% funnier. Yeah, I guess they've been roaming around here.
Yeah, all week. And like I said, it's 2 degrees out and they're running around in swimsuits downtown, which is awesome.
Yeah.
More power to them.
How do they look in real life? I've never really run into, they're all kind of a little bit like
let me
gangly, right?
This girl, her name was, Genevieve Morton. Yeah. 8 o'clock, she came in. She looked like $1 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
I'm married, but that Emrata girl that was here, she was part of that. Yeah. From the Blurred Lines video.
Right. Would that make you rethink? Or?
Yeah. Like, yes. That would make that. You know, like that guy, the NFL guy who his boat capsized like 9 miles off of Miami, and then he swam in the middle of the night all the way back.
That's what you do.
No, when they asked him why he did that, he's like, my whole thought process is my family. Like, I just want to get home to my family. I'm like, I would take that opportunity to swim to Cuba and start a new life, and then I'd go find a Murata. That's my out right there. She's my kryptonite, that lady.
Nice. Steve Rannazzisi. You're going to be at Zany's Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow. Yeah. Kind of a weird weekend because you've got Friday the 13th tonight.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, and then Valentine's Day tomorrow, so you'll have a lot of couples.
Yeah.
Is that going to change your act at all?
No, not really. No, we'll see. I mean, Valentine's Day it's like such a manufactured thing. I feel like there'll be a lot of people there, not reluctantly to see me, but like reluctantly because it's Valentine's Day. Right. So that'll be fun. And then like we just announced, we're going to announce it now. But like, we're going to do a midnight show on Saturday, a third show.
Oh, okay.
But I brought my buddies Jeff and Ryan. They're going to do that show. I'm just going to come out and host it for like 5 or 10 minutes up top. But that's going to be like a dirty Valentine show.
Oh, nice.
So if your night's not working out very well on Valentine's Day and like around 9 o'clock, you're like, you know what? Forget this guy. I'm done. Come to the midnight show at Zany's because we'll either make you laugh a lot or find you another person to fall in love with.
Now, Steve, a lot of people know you from The League.
Yes.
On FX. So I'm guessing you're a big sports fan.
I am.
Who are your teams?
I'm a New Yorker, so I'm Knicks,
everybody,
Rangers, Giants, Yankees. That's how it goes for me. That's how it breaks for me.
And do you have to deal with, we probably don't care that you're fans, but you have to listen to everybody's fantasy football stories?
Yeah, football season is the time where I have to pretend like I am interested in other people's.
Right.
Nobody wants to listen to anybody's You want to listen to people's fantasy stories?
Not at all.
It's like listening to people's dreams. Nobody cares but you, man. Nobody. No one cares.
How long has that show been on now?
We've done 6 seasons. We're going to do a 7th and final season. We're going to start shooting in July.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
So that's been quite a run. I want to ask you, when you moved to Hollywood, I always like to know what some of the jobs you had before your break.
I worked at the Comedy Store selling tickets and cleaning up vomit. I
kind of like Ron does. Yeah. That brings you guys here from Zany's.
Oh yeah. I drove an elderly lady to dialysis 3 times a week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was the greatest because she was like 86 years old, and every night she told me that, like the next day she told me that her dead husband would come to her in the night, And that was like just listening to her stories about what the conversations they would have, this and that. Every day she would tell me about like, oh, Murray came to me again last night. I'm like, what did he say to you, friend? He wants money. I go, he's all right. Well, give him money then. I did that. What else did I do? Oh, I worked at a place called Tree People where I took little kids on nature hikes. But most of them were inner city little kids who had never been in nature before. So they would like see a salamander and then like just chase it off the side of the mountain. Like literally, it was like cliffhanger. I would have to pull like kids back onto the trail. Yeah, those are like the real early days of me in LA.
Right. Well, I would guess that everybody at the Comedy Store probably was waiting to get on stage at one point.
Well, everyone that worked, except the waitresses, but everyone that worked there is a comic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like, to me, I was like, well, I'm going to be here anyway, so I might as well get paid a little bit. Very, very little bit. Very. So, and then that was your job was to, sell tickets, bounce people out of there, clean up, vomit, yell at people, and then go on at the end of the night and try to make those same people laugh.
Here's the guy that tried to throw you out earlier.
Yeah, remember me, the guy you didn't like an hour ago when I told you couldn't pee over there because, guys, we're in public. Hey, have you heard about the new thing that? Yeah, that was my life.
Oh, that's great. Where the Comedy Store, is that where the famous Joe Rogan Carlos Mencia showdown happened?
I was
you there?
Part of it, man. I'm in the video.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, the end of the video. Yeah. Me and my buddy Ari Shafir were at the end of the video. Yeah,
okay.
we were working there that night.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Joe Rogan came in here a long time ago, and we asked him about it, and 20 minutes later he was still going on about it.
Yeah, no, yeah, that was crazy. That whole period of like that was mid 2000s. People talk about like, oh, you made it. Like to me, like that was making it. Like just being around that every night. I didn't have a lot of money, but it was like the greatest night, like the greatest nights ever. I was performing stand-up comedy and then getting to hang out with the funniest people in the world.
Yeah.
And then stuff like, those fights would happen. And it was like ridiculous. And you got to be around it and a part of it.
Nice. Well, let me ask you real quick. You did a movie with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. Nobody ever saw it.
Nobody saw it.
Nobody.
I'm going to be honest. I just saw it on IMDb, but
yeah, no, it was cost like $75 million to make. I think it made $11 million.
Wow.
It was a disaster.
Well, but how was Eddie Murphy to work with?
Don't know. I mean, I can't really tell you because he's not really around. Like it's remarkable how little time he spends on set compared to like how long it takes a movie to be made.
Yeah.
Like he comes in and does a take of his coverage, which is like right here. So if this was a scene, it'd be you and I talking. It would really require basically three different things. It would require a master of like catching the both of us. Then it would require your coverage. Then we'd have to do the scene again and do my coverage. So Eddie doesn't do the master. He does someone that looks like him.
Yeah.
So you're doing it with somebody else. Then they do his coverage. So that's when he comes in. He'll do 2 takes and then he's gone. And then they do my coverage and it's somebody else reading to me. So, like what you expect, like when you find out, like what is so-and-so, what's Kevin James like? I know because I spent 4 months with him and he did everybody's coverage and he was there all the time.
On Paul Blart.
So for the 10th of the time I got to spend with Eddie, he likes boxing and he loves stand-up and he's still very, very funny.
Yeah.
And he could still do stand-up. He was saying stuff that I was like, that's a bit, you know that, right? And he's like, oh yeah, now I would never do stand-up again. Ever. And I'm like, why not? He's like, because the expectations would be so high and they would be. And plus now with like cell phones and videos and like to be able to do it, you have to be able to go, you have to try it out. And it's not going to go great every single time. So to fail at that level for him would be tough. So, and now everyone, people would be able to capture stuff like that. So, that would be a very difficult thing, but still it would be awesome to see it. So I don't know what Eddie's like. I don't know, but from what I saw, he seemed shy.
But at least though, as a stand-up comedian, though, to be in the same room
of
with
course
him is awesome.
To watch him work,
that's top. That's top.
Absolutely.
Of the heap there.
Yeah,
absolutely. Steve Rannazzisi going to be at Zany's Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow. You're doing a couple shows tonight?
Two tonight and then 2 tomorrow, and then I'm going to host a little bit that little dirty show at the end of the night.
All right, so if you get dumped for Valentine's Day,
come down to that midnight show.
Everybody's going to be mad, is that right?
Yeah, we'll hugs and kisses for everyone.
Okay, hugs and kisses. There we go. All right, Steve Rannazzisi from The League. Check that out too. Season 7 coming up.
Yeah, we'll start shooting in July.
All right. Steve, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.